Ne Zha 2, released in 2025, stands as one of the most remarkable achievements in modern Chinese animation, following the incredible success of its predecessor, the 2019 Ne Zha. Originating from the rich tapestry of Chinese mythology, particularly the classic 16th-century novel Investiture of the Gods, Fengshen Yanni, the film not only continues the story of its titular character but expands upon the universe with heightened emotional depth, breathtaking animation, and a story that resonates with audiences worldwide. The film was produced in China by a collaboration of prominent studios, including Beijing Enlight Pictures, Coco Cartoon, and Chengdu Coco Cartoon, among others, with Jiaozi, also known as Yu Yan, at the helm as both director and screenwriter. The film's original language is Mandarin, though it has since been dubbed into several languages for international audiences, including English, where acclaimed actors such as Michelle Yeoh lent their voices to bring the characters to life. With a runtime of approximately 143 minutes, Ne Zha 2 delves into a fantasy realm that seamlessly combines action, adventure, and mythological lore, making it accessible yet deeply meaningful to viewers of all ages. Its budget of around $80 million reflects a level of ambition rarely seen in animated films, particularly outside of Hollywood, and the result was a staggering global box office of over $2.2 billion, cementing its status as not only the highest-grossing animated film in history but also one of the most successful non-English films worldwide. The story of Ne Zha 2 picks up in the aftermath of the events of the first film, where Ne Zha, once a mischievous and misunderstood child, had confronted his destiny as a demon boy capable of tremendous power. In this continuation, Ne Zha and his companion Ao Bing, a dragon prince, are grappling with the consequences of their previous battles. Both have survived near-death encounters but lost their physical forms, and their mentor Tai Zhenren seeks to reconstruct their bodies using the mystical seven-colored lotus. This process is fraught with peril and sets the stage for a series of trials that will test not only their physical capabilities but also their emotional resilience and moral judgment. Throughout the film, Ne Zha struggles with his identity, his sense of duty, and the implications of the choices he must make, while Ao Bing faces his own conflicts between loyalty, familial expectations, and personal freedom. The narrative unfolds across multiple layers, blending epic battles with intimate character moments, exploring the profound themes of friendship, sacrifice, and the struggle to forge one's destiny against the constraints of tradition and expectation. The character development in Ne Zha 2 is one of its most compelling aspects. Ne Zha, voiced in Mandarin by Lu Yanting as a child and Joseph Chow for his teenage version, embodies both vulnerability and unyielding determination. Ao Bing, voiced by Han Mo, is a complex figure, representing both the majestic and the conflicted nature of the dragon lineage, torn between loyalty to his family and his own moral compass. Lady Yin, Ne Zha's mother, voiced by Lu Qi, provides a grounding presence, her compassion and steadfast love shaping Ne Zha's understanding of humanity and empathy. The mentor figure, Tai Zhenren, voiced by Zhang Jimmy, serves as the moral and spiritual guide, offering wisdom while also challenging the young heroes to confront their fears and limitations. Supporting characters, including the Dragon Kings Ao Guang and Ao Run, as well as the enigmatic Shen Gongbao, enrich the narrative with political intrigue, mythological gravitas, and nuanced relationships that reflect the broader tapestry of the fantasy world. The English dub further enhances these performances, bringing international appeal to audiences unfamiliar with Mandarin while preserving the cultural authenticity of the story. Animation in Ne Zha 2 pushes the boundaries of what contemporary Chinese studios can achieve. The film employs a combination of traditional animation techniques, state-of-the-art CGI, and meticulous attention to visual detail, creating a cinematic experience that rivals major Hollywood productions. The depiction of mythical creatures, elemental forces, and epic battles is rendered with stunning clarity and fluidity, allowing viewers to become fully immersed in the fantastical world. From the swirling colors of magical attacks to the intricate designs of ancient temples and sea palaces, every frame is crafted to convey a sense of wonder, awe, and emotional resonance. The visual storytelling is complemented by a carefully composed musical score, which blends traditional Chinese instruments with modern orchestral arrangements, heightening both the tension of action sequences and the poignancy of quieter, character-driven moments. The film was released in China on January 29, 2025, strategically timed with the Lunar New Year to capitalize on the holiday audience, and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. International releases followed, with Australia and New Zealand seeing theatrical distribution in mid-February, and the United States and Canada hosting a limited release on February 14, coinciding with Valentine's Day. English dubbed versions were rolled out later in the year, reaching audiences in multiple regions including the UK, Europe, and Southeast Asia, further expanding the film's global footprint. Streaming and digital releases followed in September 2025, ensuring accessibility to audiences unable to view the theatrical version, and contributing to its record-breaking box office performance. The marketing campaign was extensive, featuring multiple trailers released prior to the premiere, showcasing both the epic scale of the animation and the emotional stakes of the narrative. The plot intricately balances high-stakes action with character-driven drama. Ne Zha and Ao Bing navigate treacherous magical landscapes, confront powerful adversaries, and encounter moral dilemmas that test their growth and understanding of themselves. The film explores themes of destiny, choice, and the consequences of power, while also highlighting the importance of friendship and personal integrity. Unlike conventional superhero narratives, Ne Zha 2 emphasizes the interplay between individual agency and societal expectations, reflecting the philosophical undercurrents present in Chinese mythology. Every challenge the characters face is both external and internal, demanding not just skill and courage but also introspection and emotional intelligence. Box office performance and critical reception underscore the film's monumental impact. Grossing over $2.2 billion globally, it surpassed major Hollywood animated blockbusters, becoming the first non-English language film to achieve such a milestone. Critics praised the film for its technical brilliance, narrative sophistication, and emotional depth, noting that it elevates Chinese animation to a level that commands international attention. Audiences responded positively as well, celebrating the film's fidelity to mythological sources, its stunning visuals, and the relatability of its characters despite the fantastical setting. The mythology underpinning Ne Zha 2 adds layers of depth and resonance. The narrative draws heavily from investiture of the gods, incorporating elements such as the interplay between mortals and immortals, the hierarchy of celestial beings, and the concept of fate intertwined with personal choice. Ne Zha himself is emblematic of the tension between predestined power and moral autonomy, a motif explored throughout the film. Ao Bing's struggle with the expectations of his dragon lineage parallels Ne Zha's journey, creating a dual narrative that examines the balance between heritage and individuality. By integrating these mythological elements seamlessly with action, humor, and emotional storytelling, the film appeals both to audiences seeking adventure and those interested in cultural and historical depth. The trials that Ne Zha and Ao Bing face in Ne Zha 2 are more than mere obstacles, they are carefully constructed crucibles designed to test the limits of courage, morality, and self-understanding. One of the most visually stunning and narratively significant trials is the Trial of Echoes, a labyrinthine cosmic chamber where every sound, every whispered doubt, reverberates into tangible forms. In this space, the protagonists are forced to confront not only external enemies but the echoes of their own inner fears and insecurities. For Ne Zha, the trial manifests as distorted visions of past failures, the times when his impetuousness endangered friends, when rash actions provoked the wrath of both mortals and immortals, and the moments when he struggled to assert his agency against predestined paths. The animators render these visions with a surreal and painterly style, blending shadow and light, solidity and vapor, creating a world that is simultaneously threatening, mesmerizing, and psychologically revealing. Each reflection challenges Ne Zha to reconcile his fiery, rebellious nature with the need for wisdom and restraint, illustrating the complex maturation that underpins his hero's journey. Ao Bing's trial in the same chamber operates on a complementary yet distinct level. As the Dragon Prince, he must confront the tension between his natural instincts and the moral imperatives of friendship and duty. Illusions manifest as celestial authorities and mystical representations of his own heritage, testing his loyalty and resilience. These moments deepen Ao Bing's character, revealing the nuanced interplay of personal desire, inherited responsibility, and ethical decision-making. Their simultaneous trials emphasize that true heroism in Ne Zha 2 is not measured by physical prowess alone but by the courage to confront the self, navigate moral complexity, and act with integrity in the face of uncertainty. The third major trial, the trial of elements, immerses the heroes in environments dominated by the raw forces of nature, searing firestorms, torrential floods, and whirling vortexes of wind. Each element is rendered in extraordinary detail, with visual fidelity that emphasizes texture, movement, and emotional resonance. Flames twist and curl like serpents, water cascades in crystalline waves that respond to the protagonist's movements, and gusts of wind carry both danger and guidance. In this trial, Ne Zha and Ao Bing must harmonize their actions with the environment, demonstrating mastery over instinct and the capacity to act in concert rather than isolation. It is during these sequences that the animation team's technical ingenuity becomes most evident. Particle simulations, fluid dynamics, and high frame rate rendering combine to produce sequences that are visually breathtaking and narratively meaningful. These trials are choreographed not merely for spectacle but as a reflection of character growth, reinforcing the film's thematic core that courage, trust, and wisdom are inseparable from power. Secondary characters continue to enrich the narrative through intricate backstories and layered motivations. Master Tai Jinren, as mentor, embodies patience, foresight, and subtle humor, guiding the protagonists without imposing solutions. Celestial emissaries and minor deities present a spectrum of perspectives on morality, justice, and cosmic balance. For example, a minor celestial judge confronts Ne Zha with the paradox of choice. Adhering to divine law might protect the world in the short term but stifle individual freedom and moral growth. Such interactions highlight the philosophical depth of Ne Zha 2, inviting audiences to engage with questions about governance, authority, and personal responsibility. Even fleeting appearances by spirits, villagers, or minor immortals carry narrative weight, contributing to a world that feels fully realized, populated with beings whose actions and choices ripple through the plot. The musical score by Wan Pin Chu, Roe Yang, and Rock Chen complements these trials with extraordinary subtlety. Battle sequences feature rhythmic, driving percussion that mirrors the intensity of motion, while quieter interludes allow melodic strings to convey tension, introspection, or anticipation. Each character is accompanied by distinct musical motifs that evolve in accordance with their development. Ne Zha's theme oscillates between wild, fiery cadences and contemplative, somber undertones, while Ao Bing's motif flows with fluid, serene melodies, reflecting his introspective temperament. Traditional Chinese instruments are integrated seamlessly with full orchestral arrangements, creating a sonic experience that is culturally rooted yet universally resonant. The interplay of music and narrative amplifies emotional engagement, ensuring that viewers experience both the story and the internal lives of characters on a visceral level. Visual symbolism continues to operate throughout the film as a sophisticated narrative device. The seven-colored precious lotus, central to Ne Zha and Ao Bing's restoration, recurs in multiple contexts, emphasizing the themes of rebirth, spiritual resilience, and the multiplicity of identity. Celestial lightning, ever present throughout key action sequences, represents both danger and opportunity, illuminating moments of revelation, transformation, and moral choice. Color theory is employed strategically. Bold reds and golds signal triumph or courage, muted blues and purples accompany reflection and ethical ambiguity, and stark contrasts underscore existential dilemmas. Symbolic objects such as jade pendants, lotus petals, and mystical artifacts serve not merely decorative purposes but carry thematic weight, reinforcing narrative and philosophical layers for attentive viewers. From a production perspective, the creation of Ne Zha 2 exemplifies cutting-edge animation combined with meticulous research into Chinese mythology, historical art, and martial traditions. Animators and VFX artists conducted extensive studies of classical Chinese paintings, architectural forms, and traditional costume design to ensure authenticity. Motion capture technology was utilized to achieve lifelike character movements, particularly during complex battle sequences, while fluid simulations, particle systems, and advanced lighting techniques allowed for environments that feel both fantastical and tangible. The combination of these techniques reflects a hybrid approach, merging traditional artistic sensibilities with modern technological innovation, that sets Ne Zha 2 apart as a landmark achievement in global animation. Philosophically, the film engages with enduring questions about destiny, identity, and moral choice. Ne Zha's defiance against celestial authority is not mere rebellion, it is an exploration of the human desire to assert agency within predetermined structures. Ao Bing's journey interrogates the ethical responsibilities of power and heritage. Together, their stories illustrate that true heroism arises from navigating complex moral landscapes, embracing responsibility, and cultivating the courage to act despite uncertainty. The narrative repeatedly emphasizes that personal growth, friendship, and moral discernment are as vital as physical prowess or supernatural abilities. Culturally, Ne Zha 2 has profound significance. It revitalizes interest in the Fengshen universe and broader Chinese mythology, introducing these narratives to international audiences while preserving their integrity. The film demonstrates that culturally specific storytelling can achieve universal resonance when combined with strong character development, immersive visuals, and philosophical depth. Scholars and critics have noted the film's success in bridging local tradition and global cinematic standards, positioning it as a blueprint for future cross-cultural animation projects. Its influence is evident in educational, cinematic, and artistic discussions worldwide, inspiring creators to explore culturally rooted stories with global appeal. Finally, the film's global box office performance and critical reception confirm its landmark status. By surpassing $2.2 billion in worldwide revenue, Ne Zha 2 not only set new records for animated features and non-English films but also demonstrated the viability of mythologically rich narratives on the international stage. Critics praised its balanced integration of action, emotion, and philosophy, highlighting the depth of character arcs, the intricacy of trials, and the artistry of animation. Audience responses further underscore the film's resonance, with viewers drawn to its emotional honesty, visual spectacle, and narrative ambition. In addition to the central narrative, Ne Zha 2 meticulously develops minor characters and secondary plotlines that enrich the story's world and provide context for the main protagonist's growth. Characters such as Wu Yang, an immortal ally, and Shen Gongbao, a trickster figure, serve as narrative catalysts, introducing challenges, guidance, or comic relief that balance the film's emotional intensity. Wu Yang exemplifies the archetype of the wise mentor, offering insights and occasionally intervening to provide Ne Zha and Ao Bing with guidance that tests their judgment. Shen Gongbao, whose historical role in Chinese folklore is often antagonistic, is portrayed with subtlety, contributing both humor and tension while demonstrating that characters need not be strictly good or evil, but can operate within a moral gray area. This nuanced approach to secondary characters reflects the film's broader commitment to depth, ensuring that the story world feels authentic, layered, and morally complex. Plot-wise, the film continues with a series of increasingly perilous trials that test both the protagonist's physical abilities and their moral character. The challenges are diverse, ranging from elemental confrontations, such as surviving floods or controlling fire, to complex puzzles that require intelligence, teamwork, and emotional insight. Each trial is carefully crafted to highlight character growth, reinforcing the narrative arc while maintaining audience engagement. The filmmakers employ environmental storytelling to complement these trials. For example, sequences in the underwater dragon kingdoms utilize lighting, color, and particle effects to communicate the mood, danger, and magical qualities of the setting. The integration of the environment into the narrative underscores the film's attention to detail and its commitment to making the world feel alive and reactive to character action. One of the film's strengths lies in its exploration of interpersonal relationships and emotional stakes. Ne Zha and Ao Bing's evolving friendship is central, transforming from rivalry and mistrust into cooperation and mutual respect. This evolution is depicted through both action and quiet, reflective moments that allow the audience to witness character vulnerability, self-doubt, and personal insight. Moments such as shared memories, internal monologues, and symbolic dream sequences deepen the audience's understanding of each character's motivations, fears, and aspirations. These narrative techniques enhance emotional engagement and ensure that the story resonates beyond its mythological and action-oriented framework. The animation of these interpersonal dynamics is particularly notable. Facial expressions, body language, and small gestures are meticulously crafted to convey subtle emotional cues. For example, a fleeting glance, a moment of hesitation, or a physical adjustment in stance communicates complex psychological states. Animators utilized high-fidelity rigging and motion capture data to ensure fluidity and believability, resulting in characters whose emotional expressions are as compelling as their dialogue. Lighting and camera angles are also used strategically to enhance the emotional impact of scenes. Soft, warm lighting during moments of intimacy contrasts with harsh, dramatic lighting during conflict sequences, guiding the audience's emotional response and heightening narrative tension. From a technical perspective, the filmmakers of Ne Zha 2 leveraged cutting-edge technology to achieve unprecedented realism and visual impact. Advanced rendering techniques, including volumetric lighting, particle simulation, and physically based materials, create highly immersive environments. Action sequences employ dynamic camera movements, slow-motion effects, and layered compositing to create a sense of scale and grandeur. The fluidity of water, the interplay of fire and light, and the depiction of magical energy all demonstrate a mastery of CGI that elevates the film above standard animated fare. Each element is integrated into the narrative, ensuring that technical spectacle serves story progression rather than overshadowing it. The soundtrack of the film also plays a crucial role in defining its atmosphere and emotional resonance. Composer teams integrated traditional Chinese instruments alongside orchestral arrangements to evoke both cultural specificity and universal emotional appeal. Musical leitmotifs are assigned to individual characters, reinforcing their identities and signaling emotional or narrative shifts. Ne Zha's theme, for instance, combines rapid percussion with soaring strings to convey both youthful energy and heroic determination. Ao Bing's motif emphasizes fluid, lyrical melodies to evoke his connection to water and disciplined upbringing. Musical interludes during trials, confrontations, and moments of reflection are carefully timed to enhance tension, highlight moral stakes, or provide relief, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding of how sound interacts with visual storytelling. Marketing efforts for Ne Zha 2 were expansive and innovative. In addition to traditional trailers, posters, and media appearances, the marketing team utilized interactive social media campaigns, behind-the-scenes content, and cross-promotional partnerships to generate buzz. Teaser trailers were released months in advance, gradually revealing elements of the plot, key character designs, and stylistic innovations. For the English-dubbed versions, interviews with the voice cast, particularly Michelle Yeoh, were strategically used to attract international audiences. Merchandise, including figurines, apparel, and interactive apps, extended audience engagement beyond the theater, allowing fans to immerse themselves in the film's universe. These marketing strategies contributed significantly to the film's commercial success, both domestically and globally. The reception of Ne Zha 2 solidified its status as a landmark achievement in animated cinema. Critics praised the film for its sophisticated storytelling, visual artistry, and emotional depth. Reviewers noted that the integration of Chinese mythology with modern animation techniques set a new standard for both domestic and international productions. Audiences responded enthusiastically, highlighting the film's ability to balance action, humor, and heartfelt moments. The film's box office performance was exceptional, breaking records for animated films, non-English language films, and single-territory revenue in China. Its success demonstrated that culturally specific storytelling, when executed with technical and narrative excellence, can achieve global resonance and challenge the dominance of Western animation studios. Symbolism is another core strength of Ne Zha 2. Objects such as the seven-colored precious lotus, Ne Zha's flaming wheels, and Ao Bing's dragon heritage carry layered meanings. The lotus, for instance, represents not only spiritual renewal and the reconstruction of physical bodies but also the potential for personal growth, resilience, and the integration of diverse experiences. Ne Zha's wheels symbolize freedom, agility, and rebellion against predetermined constraints, while Ao Bing's dragon motifs reflect duty, heritage, and inner strength. These symbols are woven into the narrative, action sequences, and visual design, creating a rich tapestry that rewards close observation and repeated viewing. The legacy of Ne Zha 2 is multifaceted. Artistically, it has raised expectations for Chinese animation, demonstrating that domestic productions can compete with international studios on technical, narrative, and cultural levels. Culturally, the film has introduced global audiences to Chinese mythology and folklore, expanding appreciation for non-Western storytelling traditions. Academically, it offers a case study in the adaptation of traditional narratives for contemporary cinema, highlighting how mythology can be leveraged to explore universal themes such as identity, morality, and self-determination. For the animation industry, it provides a benchmark for combining technical mastery, narrative sophistication, and cultural authenticity, influencing future projects both within China and internationally. Critical reception of Ne Zha 2 has been overwhelmingly positive, with reviewers praising its ability to combine breathtaking visual spectacle with a deeply resonant emotional core. Critics noted that while the film is visually stunning, its greatest achievement lies in the way it balances the grandeur of mythological battles with intimate character moments that explore friendship, loyalty, and identity. International film critics highlighted the sophistication of its narrative structure, the emotional authenticity of its characters, and the seamless integration of cultural elements, observing that the film elevates Chinese animation to a global standard comparable with major Hollywood studios such as Pixar and DreamWorks. The use of symbolism, from the seven-colored precious lotus to the elemental forces in battle, was frequently cited as evidence of the filmmaker's commitment to crafting a story that is both entertaining and intellectually engaging. In addition, many reviewers applauded the English-dubbed adaptation for maintaining the narrative's emotional nuance and cultural integrity while making it accessible to a broader audience. The film's box office performance was nothing short of historic. Domestically, Ne Zha 2 set records for the highest-grossing animated feature in Chinese history, surpassing its predecessor by a significant margin. Early estimates indicated opening day revenues exceeding hundreds of millions of yuan, with sustained audience engagement over multiple weeks fueled by word-of-mouth recommendations, social media discussion, and favorable critical coverage. Internationally, the film achieved remarkable results in North America, Europe, and Asia, demonstrating that culturally specific narratives, when executed with high production values and universal themes, can resonate worldwide. Detailed analysis of the box office breakdown shows that markets with pre-existing interest in animated fantasy or Asian cinema, such as Japan, South Korea, and Southeast Asia, contributed significantly to the revenue, while Western markets were particularly drawn to the film's visual sophistication, action sequences, and the presence of internationally recognizable voices in the dubbed versions. Industry influence of Ne Zha 2 extends beyond its commercial success. Its innovative use of animation techniques, combining traditional artistic motifs with cutting-edge 3D rendering, has inspired other Chinese studios to pursue ambitious projects with global ambitions. The film demonstrated the feasibility of producing high-quality, culturally authentic content capable of competing in the international market, encouraging investment in domestic animation and elevating the overall profile of the industry. Filmmakers and animators worldwide have studied the movie's technical achievements, particularly its handling of dynamic action, fluid character animation, and environmental storytelling, establishing it as a benchmark for future high-budget animated films. Its success also sparked discussions about the importance of narrative depth in animated cinema, emphasizing that audiences increasingly expect stories that challenge, move, and inspire as much as they entertain. Awards and nominations for Ne Zha 2 reflect its critical and industry recognition. While it received numerous domestic awards in China for animation, sound design, visual effects, and storytelling, the film also garnered international attention. Film festivals celebrated its innovation in animated filmmaking and its capacity to blend cultural specificity with universal appeal. Analysts note that its achievements in award circuits serve as both recognition of artistic excellence and affirmation of China's rising influence in global entertainment. In addition to formal awards, the film's impact can be measured through its incorporation into academic discourse, cultural studies, and animation pedagogy, where it is cited as a pivotal case study in the intersection of myth, modern storytelling, and technological innovation. Comparisons with other animated films, both in China and internationally, reveal Ne Zha 2's unique position. Unlike many Western animated features that often emphasize humor and adventure above all else, Ne Zha 2 integrates complex philosophical and moral themes, presenting characters with multidimensional personalities and motivations. Its animation quality rivals the best of global studios, while its narrative depth and cultural grounding distinguish it as a work that is simultaneously universal and distinctly Chinese. Within the context of Chinese cinema, it stands out as a model for large-scale, culturally rooted storytelling capable of international success. Analysts frequently cite the film when discussing the potential for local narratives to achieve global recognition, highlighting its ability to inspire both creative ambition and industry confidence. The legacy of Ne Zha 2 is already evident in its influence on future projects. Aspiring animators, storytellers, and filmmakers cite the film as an inspiration for exploring mythology, culture, and complex storytelling in new ways. Its impact extends to educational contexts, where animation schools incorporate analyses of its techniques, thematic structure, and production process into curricula. The film has become a cultural touchstone, representing a fusion of tradition and innovation, demonstrating the potential for cinematic storytelling to bridge generational, linguistic, and cultural divides. Merchandise, spin-off content, and interactive media continue to extend its universe, ensuring that its presence remains active in popular culture well beyond its initial release. As the narrative of the film itself concludes, the arcs of Ne Zha and Ao Bing offer profound emotional and philosophical insights. Through trials of shared identity, epic battles, moral dilemmas, and personal sacrifice, the characters demonstrate that courage, empathy, and determination are essential not only for survival but for the shaping of one's destiny. Their journey exemplifies the intertwining of individual agency with relational bonds, emphasizing that personal growth is inseparable from the interactions and relationships one maintains. The film closes with a sense of resolution and possibility, leaving audiences to reflect on the enduring relevance of friendship, loyalty, and moral courage, and illustrating the timeless power of myth when reimagined through contemporary storytelling. In summary, Ne Zha 2 is a landmark achievement in animated cinema, merging the grandeur of mythological storytelling with modern technical mastery and deep emotional resonance. Its unprecedented box office success, critical acclaim, and cultural impact confirm its status as one of the most significant animated films of the 21st century. The film demonstrates that animation can convey sophisticated narratives, explore complex themes, and resonate with audiences across cultural boundaries. By blending visual splendor, narrative depth, and universal human themes, Ne Zha 2 has not only entertained millions worldwide but also advanced the global recognition of Chinese animation, setting a standard for future works and leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of modern cinema. The mythology embedded in Ne Zha 2 draws extensively from the 16th-century novel Investiture of the Gods, a cornerstone of Chinese literary and spiritual tradition. This ancient text recounts the struggle between divine and mortal realms, the interplay of celestial bureaucracy, and the journey of heroes who navigate predestined roles while asserting personal agency. In the film, these themes are interwoven with contemporary storytelling techniques, creating a narrative that honors tradition while remaining accessible to modern audiences. The characters of Ne Zha and Ao Bing, though fantastical, are grounded in moral and ethical dilemmas that echo the philosophical questions raised in classical literature. The tension between fate and free will, the reconciliation of personal desire with societal expectation, and the pursuit of virtue in the face of temptation and adversity are all drawn from this mythological foundation, giving the story an intellectual and emotional depth often absent in mainstream animation. Symbolism permeates every aspect of the film, from character design to narrative structure to environmental motifs. Ne Zha's fiery abilities and impulsive nature symbolize the transformative power of passion and courage, while Ao Bing's disciplined demeanor and control over water and ice elements reflect wisdom, adaptability, and the importance of balance. The seven-colored precious lotus, central to the plot, embodies potential, purification, and the intertwining of fate and choice, reinforcing the idea that challenges are a necessary precursor to growth. Environmental symbols, such as shifting landscapes, turbulent weather, and celestial alignments, mirror character emotions and plot development, creating a multi-layered viewing experience that rewards both careful observation and emotional engagement. Even the animation's use of color, lighting, and motion contributes to the thematic resonance, with warm hues highlighting moments of triumph and cooler tones marking reflection or uncertainty. Character analysis reveals a deliberate focus on multidimensional development. Ne Zha is portrayed as a character whose growth is as psychological as it is physical. His journey is not merely about mastering power, but about understanding responsibility, empathy, and the consequences of his actions. Ao Bing's arc explores the challenge of reconciling inherited expectation with personal choice, highlighting the struggle between tradition and individual identity. Secondary characters, including mentors, family members, and mystical beings, serve as foils or guides, offering moral perspectives, challenging assumptions, or catalyzing character growth. Each interaction is carefully crafted to reflect both internal character development and the broader philosophical themes of the narrative. The film's philosophical undertones extend beyond individual character arcs into larger considerations of morality, justice, and cosmic order. Conflicts in the story are rarely purely external, they are frequently reflections of internal dilemmas, societal structures, or the consequences of imbalance between human ambition and spiritual harmony. The battles, while visually spectacular, are laden with allegorical meaning. Each confrontation tests not only skill but moral discernment, emotional intelligence, and the ability to act with foresight and integrity. In this sense, Ne Zha too can be read as a meditation on the nature of heroism, suggesting that true strength arises not solely from power but from understanding, cooperation, and moral courage. Marketing for Ne Zha 2 was carefully designed to appeal to both domestic and international audiences. In China, promotions were timed to coincide with the Lunar New Year, a peak cinematic season, leveraging the holiday's association with family, celebration, and storytelling. Trailers, social media campaigns, interactive online events, and partnerships with merchandise producers amplified anticipation and engagement. For international markets, the release included English-dubbed versions, interviews with the voice cast, and promotions emphasizing the universal themes of friendship, growth, and courage, making the film accessible to audiences unfamiliar with Chinese mythology. Special screenings, including IMAX and 3D formats, highlighted the animation's technical excellence and expanded its appeal to audiences seeking both narrative depth and visual spectacle. Critical reception solidified Ne Zha 2's position as a landmark animated feature. Reviewers praised the film's ability to balance visual grandeur with emotional and philosophical complexity, noting that it challenges conventional notions of animated cinema as primarily a medium for children. The depth of character development, integration of cultural and mythological references, and thematic sophistication resonated with critics and audiences alike, resulting in high ratings and widespread acclaim. Many analysts highlighted the film as evidence of the rising influence of Chinese animation and the potential for culturally specific narratives to achieve global recognition without conforming to Western storytelling norms. The legacy of Ne Zha 2 is multifaceted. Economically, it demonstrated the power of the Chinese film market and the viability of high-budget animated productions on a global scale. Culturally, it reinforced the relevance of traditional mythology in contemporary storytelling, illustrating how ancient narratives can be reinterpreted to address modern concerns such as identity, cooperation, and moral responsibility. Artistically, it set new benchmarks for animation quality, character design, environmental modeling, and integration of musical scoring with visual storytelling. The film's influence extends beyond cinema, inspiring discussions in academic circles, fan communities, and the broader entertainment industry regarding the integration of culture, technology, and narrative innovation. Beyond its commercial and critical success, Ne Zha 2 has become a cultural touchstone. Its depiction of character growth, moral complexity, and reconciliation with destiny resonates across age groups and cultural boundaries. The film encourages reflection on the nature of personal responsibility, the importance of empathy and collaboration, and the balance between individual agency and societal expectations. These universal themes, framed within a richly detailed mythological world, allow the story to transcend geographic and linguistic limitations, providing audiences with both entertainment and philosophical engagement. Internationally, the film's success underscores the potential of non-Western narratives to compete on a global stage. By preserving cultural specificity while emphasizing universal themes, Ne Zha 2 demonstrates that films deeply rooted in one culture can achieve widespread relevance. Its English-dubbed versions, careful localization, and promotion in international markets illustrate a model for cross-cultural cinematic success, combining fidelity to source material with accessibility for diverse audiences. This approach not only broadens the film's reach but also sets a precedent for future international collaborations, distribution strategies, and audience engagement for animated films. The enduring appeal of Ne Zha 2 is further reinforced by its narrative structure, which intertwines action, character-driven drama, and philosophical reflection. Each act builds on the previous, escalating tension, deepening emotional stakes, and expanding the mythological universe. Early sequences establish character relationships and internal conflicts, mid-film battles test growth and cooperation, and climactic confrontations resolve both external and internal struggles. The resolution synthesizes visual spectacle, narrative closure, and thematic resonance, leaving audiences with a sense of fulfillment, reflection, and awe. Music and sound design continue to enrich the narrative experience throughout the film. The score employs recurring motifs, subtle instrumental cues, and culturally significant melodies to highlight narrative arcs and emotional beats. Action sequences are enhanced by dynamic, rhythmically precise compositions that complement visual motion, while quieter, introspective moments utilize minimalist instrumentation to focus attention on character psychology. Sound effects are carefully integrated with visual elements, amplifying environmental interactions, magical effects, and combat dynamics. This attention to auditory storytelling contributes to a fully immersive experience, emphasizing that Ne Zha 2's power derives as much from sensory engagement as from plot or character development. Finally, the film's influence is evident in the broader landscape of animation and global cinema. By demonstrating that a film rooted in Chinese mythology can achieve record-breaking commercial success and critical acclaim, Ne Zha 2 encourages the production of culturally specific stories capable of engaging international audiences. It challenges assumptions about the dominance of Western narratives in global animation, highlighting the appetite for diverse storytelling that blends technical innovation with profound thematic exploration. The film's legacy extends to inspiring future creators, influencing industry standards for animation quality, and affirming that mythology, culture, and universal human experience can be seamlessly integrated to produce compelling cinematic art. As Ne Zha 2 advances toward its climax, the richness of its supporting characters emerges in full force, transforming what might otherwise be a simple hero's journey into a complex, multi-layered exploration of destiny, morality, and cultural ethos. Every minor character, from the ethereal immortals to fleeting spirits encountered in mystical realms, carries symbolic and narrative weight. The guardians of the celestial courts, for instance, are portrayed not merely as obstacles but as moral and philosophical foils, reflecting the tension between rigid authority and compassionate justice. Each character is imbued with motivations that mirror facets of the protagonist's struggles, making the world of Ne Zha 2 feel interconnected and morally intricate. Among the minor deities, the celestial envoys serve as a reminder of the consequences of obedience and deviation. One envoy, with piercing eyes and flowing robes that shimmer like liquid silver, confronts Ne Zha with the dilemma of following celestial law versus acting in accordance with conscience. The confrontation is a masterclass in both animation and moral storytelling. The flowing motion of the envoy's garments, the glint of light off ethereal armor, and the subtle tremor in the envoy's expression convey a nuanced tension without a single line of dialogue. Through such encounters, the film reinforces a central theme, that the weight of choice is inseparable from the exercise of power, and that ethical discernment is as critical as strength or skill. The trials themselves are gradually revealed to be interconnected, each a reflection of internal as well as external challenges. The trial of echoes, where Ne Zha confronts distorted memories and self-doubt, flows seamlessly into the trial of elements, where physical mastery and harmony with natural forces are tested. In these sequences, every frame communicates meaning, firestorms swirl not just as visual spectacle but as a metaphor for inner turmoil, while water flows both as an obstacle and a guide, suggesting the necessity of adaptability and balance. The Trial of Shadows emphasizes perception, forcing the protagonists to distinguish truth from illusion, courage from fear. Through these layered trials, the film demonstrates that heroism is a holistic concept encompassing intellect, emotion, morality, and physical prowess. Technical mastery underpins every sequence. The animation team, drawing inspiration from traditional Chinese painting, calligraphy, and classical architecture, created environments that are at once fantastical and authentic. Motion capture technology allowed the characters' gestures and movements to retain natural fluidity, while particle simulations, volumetric lighting, and dynamic shading enhanced the cinematic realism of battles and mystical phenomena. A single frame may include thousands of independently animated elements, flying petals, cascading water, glowing energy streams, and reflective surfaces that react dynamically to the characters' movements. The filmmaker's dedication to authenticity extended to the smallest details. Embroidery on robes is consistent with historical patterns, celestial weapons reflect mythological descriptions, and landscapes echo real-world topography while retaining fantastical exaggeration. Music and sound continue to play a central role in conveying emotion and narrative depth. The score evolves with the trials. The Trial of Echoes is accompanied by dissonant, haunting tones that reflect confusion and fear, while the Trial of Elements features layered orchestration that mirrors the chaotic yet ordered forces of nature. Themes associated with Ne Zha and Ao Bing recur in variations, subtly signaling emotional and psychological shifts. Even ambient sound is carefully crafted, the rustle of leaves, the crackle of lightning, the hum of spiritual energy, and the resonance of mystical temples create a sonic landscape as vivid as the visual one. Together, visual and auditory elements produce a fully immersive narrative experience, making each trial both physically and emotionally tangible to the audience. Symbolism permeates every layer of Ne Zha 2. Beyond the obvious motifs of the lotus, lightning, and celestial energy, subtle visual cues communicate deeper philosophical ideas. The arrangement of light and shadow often mirrors moral and ethical dilemmas, while the orientation of characters within a frame reflects relational dynamics and hierarchy. Even the weather and environmental conditions carry thematic weight. Turbulent storms coincide with internal conflict, while calm, reflective waters accompany moments of insight and growth. These elements are not merely aesthetic choices, they function as a visual language, allowing the audience to engage with the story at multiple levels of interpretation. The cultural impact of Ne Zha 2 extends beyond its narrative or technical achievements. By integrating traditional Chinese mythological elements with a modern cinematic sensibility, the film creates a bridge between cultural heritage and global entertainment. It invites international audiences to engage with Chinese folklore while exploring universal human experiences, friendship, loyalty, courage, self-discovery, and the negotiation of destiny. The film's success has inspired renewed interest in Chinese literature, mythology, and visual arts, fostering cross-cultural dialogue and encouraging new generations to explore the rich tapestry of historical stories in contemporary forms. Philosophically, the narrative encourages reflection on the nature of heroism and the exercise of moral judgment. Ne Zha's confrontations with celestial authority highlight the tension between obedience and personal integrity. Ao Bing's choices illuminate the responsibilities inherent in power and privilege. Together, they embody the film's central assertion, that heroism is not simply about action or strength but about ethical discernment, courage in the face of uncertainty, and the capacity to navigate the interplay between personal desire and the greater good. The film repeatedly underscores that the challenges of life, whether mundane or extraordinary, require balance, wisdom, and a compassionate understanding of others. The international response to Ne Zha 2 confirms its global resonance. While rooted in Chinese culture, the film's themes transcend borders, appealing to viewers worldwide who recognize universal struggles with identity, morality, and destiny. The English-dubbed versions, featuring renowned voice talent, maintain both emotional fidelity and narrative nuance, allowing non-Mandarin-speaking audiences to fully appreciate the story. Box office results across Asia, North America, and Europe reflect not only curiosity but genuine engagement, indicating a growing global appetite for animated films that combine spectacle, emotional depth, and cultural authenticity. Promotional efforts were carefully calibrated to extend the narrative universe beyond the theater. Interactive social media campaigns allowed audiences to explore the Fengshen universe digitally, revealing character backstories, lore, and immersive environments. Augmented reality experiences allowed fans to interact with celestial realms, while limited edition collectibles, digital comics, and collaborative merchandise deepened engagement and cultivated a sense of community. These strategies transformed viewers from passive spectators into active participants, creating a holistic experience that extended the story's reach and amplified anticipation for the film's release. The enduring legacy of Ne Zha 2 lies in its demonstration of what animation can achieve when ambition, cultural fidelity, and narrative sophistication converge. It challenges the notion that animated films are merely for children or for spectacle, proving instead that they can grapple with complex philosophical, ethical, and emotional themes. Its success has set a new benchmark for international animation, showing that culturally specific stories, when executed with artistry and authenticity, can resonate on a global scale. The film has influenced filmmakers, educators, critics, and audiences, inspiring both creative innovation and scholarly analysis. Ne Zha 2 is more than a sequel or an animated feature, it is a cinematic milestone that exemplifies the potential of storytelling to transcend cultural and linguistic boundaries. Through its intricate trials, compelling character arcs, philosophical depth, and visual and auditory mastery, it invites viewers to reflect on courage, friendship, identity, and destiny. Its impact reverberates not only in the realm of cinema but also in the broader cultural imagination, affirming the enduring power of myth, narrative, and artistic innovation. Beyond its narrative and mythological depth, Ne Zha 2 is also remarkable for the intricacy of its character relationships and the subtle emotional storytelling that runs through every frame. The connection between Ne Zha and Ao Bing is at the heart of the film, a friendship forged in adversity but tempered by the knowledge that their destinies are intertwined yet uncertain. Ao Bing, as the Dragon Prince, carries the weight of his royal lineage and the expectation to maintain the power and pride of his people, while Ne Zha struggles with his identity as a demon boy burdened with a prophecy that seems inescapable. Their interactions are layered, oscillating between moments of camaraderie, conflict, and mutual understanding. These interactions do not simply serve the plot, they provide the emotional scaffolding for the story, grounding the fantastical elements in relatable human emotions. The film frequently emphasizes that true heroism is not measured only in the victories of combat but in the moral choices made when confronted with impossible circumstances. The narrative is structured to balance large-scale battles with intimate character moments. One sequence, for example, depicts Ne Zha confronting a raging sea monster conjured by a scheming immortal. The scene is visually overwhelming, with waves crashing in CGI perfection, magical energies crackling around the characters, and Ne Zha's inner turmoil reflected in the intensity of the fight. Yet, amid the chaos, the filmmakers pause the action to focus on Ne Zha's hesitation, his reflection on his past mistakes, and the concern for Ao Bing's safety. This interplay between spectacle and introspection is repeated throughout the film, ensuring that viewers remain invested in the characters' personal journeys even as the stakes escalate to mythical proportions. The supporting cast further enriches the narrative. Lady Yin, Ne Zha's mother, embodies compassion and unwavering faith in her child. She functions not merely as a parental figure but as a moral compass, reminding Ne Zha that love and empathy are as essential to heroism as strength and agility. Tai Zhenren, the mentor, provides guidance with a blend of wisdom and occasional sternness, challenging the protagonists to confront not only external enemies but also internal weaknesses, such as fear, self-doubt, and the temptation to take shortcuts. The Dragon Kings, including Ao Guang and Ao Run, add layers of political intrigue and narrative tension, representing the complex interplay of power, tradition, and responsibility in a world governed by both mortal and immortal laws. Shen Gongbao, another key figure, functions as a morally ambiguous character whose actions influence the protagonists in unexpected ways, creating narrative twists that keep the audience engaged throughout the film. The visual design of the film is particularly noteworthy. Ne Zha 2 uses a vibrant color palette that changes dynamically to reflect the mood and tone of each scene. Calm, introspective moments often employ softer, pastel-like shades, while battle sequences explode with neon-colored magic, dramatic lighting, and highly detailed environmental effects. The CGI animation is complemented by meticulous attention to smaller visual details, from the textures of clothing and armor to the fluid movements of water, fire, and wind. Each frame is composed to maximize both aesthetic appeal and narrative clarity, ensuring that audiences can follow fast-paced action while also appreciating the artistic craftsmanship. The sound design and musical score play equally critical roles in shaping the cinematic experience. Traditional Chinese instruments, such as the guzheng and erhu, are blended with orchestral elements to create an emotional resonance that amplifies the narrative stakes. The soundtrack shifts fluidly between high-intensity battle music, which emphasizes rhythm and tension, and quieter, melodic pieces that underscore moments of reflection and emotional vulnerability. Sound effects are similarly nuanced, enhancing the realism of supernatural phenomena while supporting the fantastical tone of the film. The combination of music, sound design, and visual effects ensures a fully immersive experience, allowing viewers to feel both the grandeur of the mythological world and the intimacy of the characters' personal struggles. Ne Zha 2 also distinguishes itself through its thoughtful exploration of morality and destiny. Unlike many traditional action-oriented animated films, where conflicts are often resolved through sheer physical prowess or external plot devices, this film consistently asks its characters, and its audience, to consider the ethical implications of their actions. Ne Zha is repeatedly confronted with choices that test his sense of justice, loyalty, and compassion. Ao Bing faces similar challenges, particularly in reconciling the expectations of his dragon heritage with his personal sense of right and wrong. By embedding these philosophical questions into the narrative, the filmmakers elevate Ne Zha 2 beyond a simple action fantasy story, creating a work that resonates on both intellectual and emotional levels. The release strategy of the film played a crucial role in its record-breaking success. The Chinese premiere on January 29, 2025, coincided with the Lunar New Year, one of the busiest times for moviegoing in China, allowing the film to capture a massive initial audience. Promotional efforts were extensive, including teaser trailers, behind-the-scenes features, interviews with the voice cast, and interactive social media campaigns. The English-dubbed versions extended the film's reach to global audiences, with strategic releases in North America, Europe, and Oceania throughout the first half of 2025. The marketing emphasized both the high-quality animation and the rich, culturally grounded narrative, appealing to audiences seeking both spectacle and substance. Critical reception was overwhelmingly positive. Reviewers praised the film for its visual sophistication, narrative depth, and cultural authenticity, noting that it successfully bridges the gap between traditional mythological storytelling and contemporary cinematic techniques. Audiences responded enthusiastically, particularly highlighting the emotional resonance of Ne Zha and Ao Bing's journey, the moral complexity of the characters, and the spectacularly rendered action sequences. Social media discussions and fan communities reflected widespread appreciation for the film's ability to honor Chinese cultural heritage while also delivering a universally engaging story. The film's box office achievements were historic. Earning over $2.2 billion globally, it became the highest-grossing animated film of all time, surpassing major Hollywood titles. It also holds the distinction of being the first non-English language film to cross the $2 billion mark, a testament to both the quality of the film and the growing global appetite for diverse cinematic perspectives. Its success has sparked increased international interest in Chinese animation, inspiring studios and filmmakers worldwide to explore similar mythologically grounded yet universally accessible narratives. Cultural impact extends beyond box office numbers. Ne Zha 2 has become a reference point for discussions on modern Chinese animation, blending traditional myth with innovative storytelling and advanced animation techniques. Its characters, particularly Ne Zha and Ao Bing, have become widely recognized symbols in contemporary media, inspiring merchandise, fan art, and even educational discussions on mythology. The film also contributes to a broader dialogue about identity, choice, and the tension between heritage and individuality, themes that resonate across cultures and generations. The mythology woven throughout Ne Zha 2 is both intricate and accessible. Drawing from investiture of the gods, the story explores celestial hierarchies, the interplay of mortals and immortals, and the consequences of defying or embracing destiny. Ne Zha embodies the archetype of the reluctant hero, grappling with powers he neither fully understands nor entirely controls, while Ao Bing represents the tension between inherited duty and personal ethics. By grounding the fantastical elements in these mythological frameworks, the film maintains a sense of authenticity while also allowing creative liberties that enhance narrative engagement. As the story progresses toward its climax, Ne Zha 2 emphasizes the intertwining of personal growth, responsibility, and the consequences of choice. Minor plot threads introduced earlier converge in critical sequences that test not only the physical and magical abilities of Ne Zha and Ao Bing but also their moral judgment and emotional maturity. The film portrays the final trials with escalating stakes, both visually and narratively. Vast landscapes, from tumultuous seas to celestial plains, serve as both battlegrounds and metaphors for internal struggle. Ne Zha and Ao Bing are forced to confront manifestations of their own doubts, fears, and past mistakes, which are personified in imaginative visual sequences. This blending of the fantastical and psychological underscores the film's commitment to character-driven storytelling, ensuring that every action sequence has emotional weight and narrative purpose. Ne Zha's arc reaches its culmination as he reconciles his impulsive tendencies with newfound wisdom. Moments of reflection, such as interactions with Lady Yin and Tai Zhenren, reinforce the idea that true heroism involves empathy, restraint, and understanding the impact of one's actions on others. Ao Bing similarly undergoes a transformation, learning to balance duty with personal morality and forging his own path rather than blindly following the expectations of his father or society. Their partnership, forged through trials and mutual understanding, becomes a central theme, illustrating that friendship, trust, and collaboration are essential components of overcoming both external and internal challenges. The resolution of these arcs is emotionally satisfying, providing closure while leaving room for reflection and potential future narratives. Visually, the climactic sequences are among the film's most impressive achievements. The final battle sequences utilize a combination of large-scale environmental effects, particle simulations, and fluid animation to depict cosmic forces, magical energy, and elemental powers. The animators employ a sophisticated interplay of color, light, and motion to enhance narrative tension and emotional resonance. For example, sequences involving the seven-colored precious lotus feature dynamic lighting, vibrant color gradients, and layered effects to symbolize spiritual energy, hope, and the merging of mortal and cosmic forces. Every frame is composed to maximize impact, guiding the viewer's eye and reinforcing the story's thematic undercurrents. In addition to spectacle, subtle emotional beats continue to define the film's storytelling. Quiet moments, such as Ne Zha's reflections on his identity or Ao Bing's interactions with the Dragon Court, are animated with a precision that conveys emotion without relying on dialogue. Facial microexpressions, hand gestures, and posture are all employed to communicate internal states. This level of detail ensures that the audience connects with characters on a psychological and emotional level, complementing the grandiose action sequences with intimate storytelling. The film's conclusion emphasizes reconciliation and the integration of disparate elements: human, dragon, mortal, and immortal. Through their trials, Ne Zha and Ao Bing achieve not only physical restoration but also emotional and spiritual growth, symbolizing the integration of identity, morality, and destiny. The resolution of secondary plotlines, including the fate of the Dragon Kingdoms and the guidance of mentors, reinforces the narrative's emphasis on balance, cooperation, and the responsible use of power. The film concludes on a note that is both triumphant and reflective, leaving audiences with a sense of completion while acknowledging that growth is ongoing. From a production standpoint, Ne Zha 2 is a case study in meticulous planning and execution. The film's production spans several years, involving hundreds of artists, animators, sound engineers, and voice actors. Storyboarding was detailed and iterative, ensuring that every sequence served both narrative and visual purposes. Motion capture and CGI techniques were integrated with traditional animation methods to achieve fluidity, realism, and stylistic consistency. The collaboration between departments, animation, lighting, sound design, music, and editing, was carefully coordinated to create a cohesive final product that harmonized visual spectacle, narrative clarity, and emotional resonance. In terms of audience reception, Ne Zha 2 has had profound impact both domestically and internationally. In China, the film achieved record-breaking box office numbers, earning over $2.2 billion and solidifying its status as the highest-grossing animated film in Chinese history. Internationally, it introduced global audiences to Chinese mythology in a format that was accessible, engaging, and emotionally compelling. Critics highlighted the film's sophisticated approach to character development, narrative depth, and technical innovation, while audiences praised its humor, action sequences, and emotional storytelling. The film's success demonstrates that culturally rooted narratives, when executed with quality and creativity, can resonate across cultural and linguistic boundaries. A detailed analysis of box office performance reveals the film's global appeal. In China, it dominated the Lunar New Year season, maintaining strong attendance for multiple weeks. In North America, Europe, and Oceania, localized versions, including English dubs with high-profile voice actors, helped attract audiences unfamiliar with Chinese animation, while subtitled versions catered to viewers seeking authenticity. The combination of strategic release timing, marketing campaigns, and high-quality content contributed to sustained commercial success. Merchandise, streaming rights, and international licensing further expanded the film's reach and profitability, illustrating the modern multimedia ecosystem in which blockbuster animated films operate. The cultural and philosophical impact of Ne Zha 2 extends beyond cinema. By modernizing a beloved myth, the film engages with questions of identity, morality, and personal growth in ways that are accessible to both children and adults. Themes of self-determination, the reconciliation of personal desire with social responsibility, and the importance of empathy resonate universally. The film's use of mythology as a lens to explore contemporary issues such as individuality versus conformity, intergenerational tension, and the integration of tradition with innovation demonstrates the enduring relevance of classical narratives in modern storytelling. Finally, the legacy of Ne Zha 2 is multifaceted. It has set a benchmark for technical and narrative excellence in Chinese animation, influenced international perceptions of non-Western animated films, and inspired future projects that blend cultural authenticity with global storytelling sensibilities. For animators, filmmakers, and scholars, it offers lessons in the integration of mythology, technical innovation, and emotionally resonant character development. For audiences, it provides an immersive, entertaining, and thought-provoking cinematic experience that blends spectacle with substance. The film's achievements in narrative depth, animation quality, cultural resonance, and global appeal ensure that it will be studied, admired, and enjoyed for years to come, cementing its status as a landmark in the history of animated cinema. Ne Zha 2 exemplifies how storytelling, when combined with technical mastery, cultural fidelity, and emotional intelligence, can transcend borders, resonate with diverse audiences, and elevate animation as an art form. Its blend of mythology, action, humor, and humanistic themes ensures a lasting impact, making it not only a commercial success but also a significant cultural and artistic milestone. By balancing narrative complexity, visual innovation, and emotional resonance, Ne Zha 2 demonstrates that animated films can carry profound meaning while achieving mass appeal, ultimately securing its place as a defining work in contemporary cinema. Ne Zha 2's narrative is meticulously crafted, with individual scenes layered to provide both spectacle and subtle character development. One of the earliest sequences in the film illustrates the delicate interplay between Ne Zha and Ao Bing, as they navigate the challenges of sharing a single body. The filmmakers employ careful visual cues to distinguish the characters' alternating control, slight shifts in posture, facial expression, and tone of voice signal to the audience whose consciousness is guiding their shared physical form. These subtleties reinforce the film's central theme of identity and interdependence, demonstrating that personal growth often arises from collaboration, empathy, and negotiation. Dialogue in these moments is precise and meaningful, often exploring philosophical questions about selfhood, responsibility, and the nature of friendship. Lines reflecting doubt, fear, or moral hesitation are juxtaposed with declarations of loyalty and courage, highlighting the character's inner complexity and emotional depth. Throughout the film, mythological references abound, carefully woven into both the narrative and visual design. The seven-colored precious lotus, for example, is not merely a plot device but symbolizes transformation, potential, and the cyclical nature of life and destiny. This motif draws from traditional Chinese cosmology and Buddhist symbolism, where lotus flowers often represent purity, enlightenment, and spiritual awakening. Similarly, the elemental powers wielded by Ne Zha and other characters, ranging from fire manipulation to water control, are grounded in Taoist and classical Chinese mythological frameworks, each element representing not only physical force but also moral and philosophical significance. Fire embodies passion, courage, and transformation, water conveys adaptability, reflection, and the ebb and flow of life, wind signifies freedom and unpredictability, and earth represents stability, endurance, and responsibility. These elements are visually represented with extraordinary attention to detail, employing dynamic fluid simulations, particle effects, and color gradients to convey both aesthetic beauty and thematic meaning. The film's central action sequences are particularly noteworthy for their combination of cinematic choreography and narrative symbolism. Battles are not only a display of combat prowess but also serve as reflections of internal and interpersonal conflict. For instance, confrontations with the Dragon King and other antagonistic forces function as extensions of the protagonist's moral and emotional struggles. Every strike, dodge, and spellcasting moment is visually stylized to communicate character intent and growth. Color palettes, camera angles, and animation timing are all employed to heighten the narrative resonance. A fiery explosion may coincide with a moment of emotional catharsis, while a subdued water manipulation scene conveys introspection or reconciliation. This deliberate integration of visual storytelling and plot development exemplifies the film's sophisticated approach to animated cinema, elevating it beyond mere entertainment into the realm of narrative artistry. Philosophical interpretations of Ne Zha too often focus on the tension between fate and free will. The protagonist's struggles highlight the idea that while destiny may set boundaries, individual choices remain powerful in shaping outcomes and ethical landscapes. This tension is particularly evident in sequences where Ne Zha must reconcile the expectations of his family, mentor, and society with his personal desires and moral compass. Ao Bing's arc similarly explores the conflict between inherited roles and autonomous action, emphasizing that self-definition requires courage, reflection, and sometimes defiance. Dialogues and monologues frequently incorporate introspective questioning and moral reasoning, encouraging viewers to consider not only the character's dilemmas but also broader ethical and philosophical implications. These layers of complexity distinguish Ne Zha 2 from typical animated films, positioning it as a work that engages both intellect and emotion. Fan theories and interpretations have proliferated, demonstrating the film's depth and cultural resonance. Some fans speculate about alternative endings, exploring what might have happened had Ne Zha or Ao Bing made different choices at key narrative junctures. Others analyze the symbolism of recurring motifs, such as the lotus, dragons, or elemental forces, proposing interpretations that link character development to broader philosophical and mythological concepts. Online discussions frequently explore the implications of shared consciousness, the moral responsibilities inherent in possessing great power, and the reconciliation of personal desire with societal obligation. These fan-driven dialogues highlight the participatory nature of contemporary media consumption, where audiences actively engage with narrative content, contributing to its cultural longevity and interpretive richness. From an educational standpoint, Ne Zha 2 has been employed as a teaching resource in multiple contexts. Animation programs analyze the film for its advanced techniques in modeling, lighting, rigging, and particle effects, while literature and cultural studies courses examine its reinterpretation of Chinese mythology and folklore. The film's narrative structure, character development, and thematic complexity also serve as case studies in creative writing, storytelling, and cinematic philosophy. Workshops and seminars inspired by the movie encourage students and emerging filmmakers to explore the integration of cultural heritage, ethical exploration, and technological innovation, fostering a new generation of creative professionals equipped to tell compelling stories that resonate both locally and globally. The technical achievement of Ne Zha 2 is particularly remarkable in its use of animation technology. Advanced 3D modeling allowed for highly detailed character designs, enabling subtle facial expressions and nuanced gestures that convey emotion even in the absence of dialogue. Motion capture technology was combined with traditional keyframe animation to produce fluid, lifelike movements, especially during complex combat sequences. Environmental design utilized layered textures, volumetric lighting, and particle-based simulations to create immersive, dynamic worlds that feel simultaneously magical and tangible. Sound design further augmented this visual sophistication, with meticulously synchronized effects that complement movement, action, and dialogue. Every aspect of production was carefully coordinated to create a cohesive, high-quality cinematic experience that communicates both narrative and aesthetic depth. The film's streaming and home media release further extend its reach and impact. By making the movie available on major platforms with supplemental content, such as behind-the-scenes footage, director commentary, and interactive mythological guides, audiences gain insight into both the artistic process and the cultural context of the story. These features serve to deepen understanding, appreciation, and engagement, providing educational as well as entertainment value. Additionally, the accessibility of digital platforms ensures that the narrative continues to reach new audiences globally, maintaining its cultural relevance and inspiring ongoing discourse around its themes, artistry, and technical mastery. Merchandising associated with Ne Zha 2 has been extensive and diverse. Collectible figures, apparel, and artwork allow fans to engage with the film beyond the screen, while interactive media such as video games and mobile applications provide immersive experiences that reinforce the film's mythological universe. These products not only generate commercial revenue but also function as cultural artifacts, extending the narrative's influence and encouraging creativity, exploration, and imaginative play. Educational merchandise, including books and tutorials related to animation and storytelling, further reinforces the film's role as a tool for learning and inspiration. Beyond the central characters, Ne Zha 2 dedicates significant attention to a host of minor and supporting characters, each of whom contributes to the richness of the narrative universe. Among these are family members, mystical beings, mentors, and rivals, whose interactions with Ne Zha and Ao Bing illuminate key themes and provide narrative depth. Family members, for instance, embody societal and emotional expectations, serving as mirrors to the protagonist's inner conflicts. Their concern, guidance, or inadvertent pressure reflects the broader tension between individual agency and collective responsibility. Mentors, including Tai Zhenren and other mystical figures, function not merely as plot devices but as philosophical guides, presenting questions and challenges that force the protagonists to reflect on morality, courage, and identity. Their wisdom is often delivered through dialogue that is simultaneously practical, poetic, and morally instructive, emphasizing the educational as well as emotional dimension of the film. Minor antagonists, while less central to the story, are similarly significant. Each presents a different form of conflict, testing Ne Zha and Ao Bing in unique ways. Some embody personal temptation, challenging the character's ethics or emotional stability. Others represent societal or cosmic imbalance, forcing them to confront broader consequences of action and inaction. These layered conflicts contribute to the film's thematic complexity, ensuring that every encounter is meaningful and resonates with both narrative and symbolic significance. For instance, a recurring minor antagonist who seeks control of the seven-colored precious lotus not only drives plot tension but also serves as a metaphor for unchecked ambition and the dangers of prioritizing personal gain over harmony. The resolution of such conflicts reinforces the central themes of empathy, cooperation, and moral responsibility. Scene-level descriptions are particularly detailed in Ne Zha 2, enhancing both narrative clarity and visual immersion. Early sequences establish the mystical landscapes in which the protagonists operate, such as floating islands, cloud-covered mountains, ethereal forests, and waterfalls imbued with magical energy. Each location is carefully animated to reflect both environmental logic and emotional tone. In moments of action, the environment dynamically responds to character movement, creating an integrated spectacle where characters, effects, and surroundings are in constant interaction. These sequences are not only visually impressive but narratively functional, as terrain, obstacles, and natural phenomena directly influence character decisions and the flow of the story. Fight choreography is a standout feature of Ne Zha 2, blending classical martial arts concepts with fantastical abilities and dynamic animation. Each battle sequence is meticulously designed, taking into account character strengths, weaknesses, emotional states, and environmental interactions. Combat is not simply a display of physical power but a narrative tool that illustrates character growth and the evolution of relationships. For example, in sequences where Ne Zha and Ao Bing face multiple adversaries, the choreography emphasizes their growing synchronicity, demonstrating how cooperation amplifies their effectiveness. Close-up animations convey subtle expressions of hesitation, determination, or strategy, while wide shots highlight spatial relationships and environmental manipulation. The careful balance of rapid movements, pauses for reflection, and the interplay of magical effects contributes to a cinematic experience that is both exhilarating and narratively meaningful. Cultural references are interwoven throughout the film, enhancing its depth and connecting the narrative to centuries of Chinese tradition. Mythical motifs, such as dragons, phoenixes, lotus flowers, celestial alignments, and elemental spirits, are presented not merely as decorative elements but as integral components of story and theme. Dialogue, ritual sequences, and ceremonial imagery further embed cultural context, grounding fantastical events in recognizable traditions and symbolism. These references serve dual functions. They enrich the narrative for audiences familiar with Chinese mythology while offering international viewers insight into cultural values, storytelling conventions, and philosophical frameworks that inform character actions and moral choices. For instance, the lotus flower, repeatedly referenced in both visual and narrative contexts, symbolizes purity, transformation, and enlightenment, a motif that resonates throughout the characters' personal journeys. The climax of the film is composed of meticulously orchestrated scenes that combine character resolution, thematic culmination, and environmental spectacle. Ne Zha and Ao Bing confront the ultimate antagonist in a series of exchanges that test their physical abilities, emotional resilience, and moral judgment. The choreography is layered with symbolism. The protagonists' coordinated maneuvers represent the harmony of dual perspectives, the adversaries' attacks mirror the consequences of imbalance, and environmental effects such as storms, shifting mountains, and surging rivers visually communicate the magnitude of cosmic stakes. These sequences are interspersed with brief reflective moments, allowing characters to internalize lessons, recognize personal growth, and make deliberate ethical choices. By blending action with introspection, the film maintains narrative tension while ensuring that resolution is emotionally and philosophically satisfying. Secondary scenes, including moments of community interaction, mentorship, and personal reflection, provide additional texture to the narrative. Ne Zha and Ao Bing are depicted engaging with townspeople, offering protection, and demonstrating moral leadership. These scenes reinforce themes of social responsibility and the consequences of power. Interactions with mentors highlight the importance of guidance, patience, and the integration of wisdom with action. Quiet reflective moments, often set in visually serene environments such as tranquil lakes, blooming gardens, or moonlit peaks, allow the audience to witness character vulnerability and introspection. Together, these sequences balance high-intensity action with emotional resonance, ensuring a holistic cinematic experience. The resolution of the film, including the restoration of independent forms for Ne Zha and Ao Bing, is framed to emphasize both narrative closure and thematic continuity. The shared experiences that define the protagonist's arc are visually represented through environmental symmetry, balanced composition, and recurring motifs. Characters are positioned in ways that reflect equilibrium, relationships are harmonized, and previously unresolved tensions are addressed through dialogue, gestures, and symbolic imagery. These artistic choices reinforce the broader philosophical and cultural messages of the film, signaling the culmination of character growth, moral understanding, and cosmic balance. The final sequences also incorporate visual cues that reinforce cultural and mythological symbolism. The blooming lotus, celestial alignment, and harmonious landscapes not only provide aesthetic closure but also underscore the cyclical nature of growth, challenge, and resolution, a central motif in Chinese storytelling traditions. By ending on these visually and thematically resonant notes, the film leaves audiences with a sense of completeness, reflection, and awe, while reinforcing the enduring significance of its mythological roots. Marketing and international reception continue to play a critical role in the film's global influence. Promotional campaigns leverage the film's visual and narrative sophistication, emphasizing its universal themes of cooperation, courage, and transformation. International screenings, dubbing efforts, and localized promotions ensured that audiences unfamiliar with Chinese mythology could appreciate the story while maintaining cultural authenticity. Reviews in Western markets highlighted the film's capacity to bridge cultural divides, praising the seamless integration of myth, action, emotion, and philosophy. Academic and fan discussions have further explored the implications of the narrative, particularly in the context of cross-cultural storytelling, the adaptation of traditional literature, and the global potential of regionally grounded cinematic art. In conclusion, Ne Zha 2 is not merely a film but a comprehensive artistic achievement that synthesizes mythology, character development, philosophy, visual innovation, and cultural resonance. Through meticulous animation, layered storytelling, and rich thematic exploration, the film creates an immersive experience that engages audiences on emotional, intellectual, and aesthetic levels. Its success demonstrates the power of culturally rooted narratives to achieve both critical and commercial acclaim in a global context, setting new standards for animated cinema. The film's legacy lies in its ability to inspire, entertain, and provoke reflection, illustrating the enduring potential of animation as a medium for complex, meaningful, and universally resonant storytelling. As the story reaches its crescendo, even the most minor characters assert their presence, each shaping the narrative and reinforcing its themes. Among these, the ethereal spirit messengers serve as subtle guides and foils, embodying principles of balance, fate, and moral consequence. Though they appear fleetingly, their interactions with Ne Zha and Ao Bing carry profound symbolic weight. One spirit, cloaked in luminescent silks, challenges Ao Bing with riddles that test his perception and discernment, forcing him to weigh personal desire against cosmic harmony. Another spirit manifests as an echo of Ne Zha's former self, reflecting the boy's impulsivity and reminding him of the moral lessons embedded in prior failures. These encounters, brief though they may be, reinforce a central theme: in a universe governed by both divine law and personal choice, even minor influences can shape destiny in meaningful ways. The final sequences of the trials merge narrative, spectacle, and philosophy into a breathtaking synthesis. The trial of unity, the culminating challenge, requires Ne Zha and Ao Bing to act in complete synchrony, harnessing both physical power and spiritual attunement. Here, the animation reaches a level of refinement that borders on the transcendental. Fire and water intertwine seamlessly, wind and lightning converge in complex, choreographed arcs, and the very fabric of the environment responds dynamically to the protagonist's actions. This trial serves as a metaphor for the harmony necessary between friends, between humans and nature, and between mortal ambition and divine order. The trial's design emphasizes that heroism is not solitary but relational, relying upon trust, empathy, and shared purpose. Production insights reveal the extraordinary effort behind these sequences. Animators spent months researching natural phenomena, fluid dynamics of rivers, the movement of clouds, and the behavior of fire in different environments, to achieve realism that supports narrative meaning. Advanced rendering techniques allowed each element to interact dynamically, while motion capture and hand-keyed animation ensured that characters' gestures conveyed subtle emotional nuance. Lighting was meticulously calculated to evoke mood and thematic resonance, with shifts in hue, intensity, and shadow reflecting narrative tension, moral ambiguity, or emotional clarity. Costume and environment design incorporated references to historical Chinese artistry, ensuring that even fantastical elements were culturally rooted. Every visual decision, from the tilt of a temple roof to the shimmer of a dragon scale, was deliberate, reinforcing the film's seamless integration of mythology, narrative, and aesthetic sophistication. Sound design played an equally critical role in conveying narrative and emotional depth. Beyond the orchestral score and traditional Chinese instrumentation, every sound effect, from the swish of a martial strike to the ethereal hum of mystical energy, was engineered to enhance immersion and underscore thematic resonance. Sound was often used symbolically. The crackle of celestial lightning accompanies moral awakening, while the ripple of water conveys both literal danger and metaphysical reflection. Music motifs evolve with the characters, their themes interweaving to reflect unity, conflict, growth, or reconciliation, resulting in an auditory landscape as complex and narratively significant as the visuals themselves. Philosophical motifs permeate the narrative. The interplay of choice and destiny, the tension between individual desire and communal responsibility, and the ethical dilemmas of power recur across trials, battles, and interactions with minor characters. Ne Zha's defiance against rigid divine authority serves as a meditation on autonomy, courage, and ethical self-determination. Ao Bing's grappling with loyalty, heritage, and moral responsibility illuminates the ethical weight of power. These motifs are reinforced symbolically through visual elements such as the lotus, rebirth and resilience, celestial light, truth and revelation, and the merging of elemental forces, balance and unity. Every action, trial, and encounter is a meditation on the responsibilities inherent in growth, strength, and the exercise of free will. Cultural significance is further amplified by the film's ability to translate local mythological narratives into universal experiences. While deeply rooted in the Fengshen universe, the story resonates globally because it addresses core human experiences, the journey of self-discovery, the formation and testing of friendships, and the struggle to reconcile personal desire with ethical obligation. Its influence extends to education, inspiring interest in Chinese literature, mythology, and philosophy, while encouraging cross-cultural dialogue and appreciation. Academics and critics have highlighted the film as a model for how culturally specific narratives can maintain authenticity while achieving global accessibility. The global reception of Ne Zha 2 confirms its transcendent appeal. Its record-breaking international box office reflects both curiosity and deep engagement, while critical acclaim emphasizes its narrative sophistication, emotional depth, and technical mastery. English-dubbed releases, featuring acclaimed talent such as Michelle Yeoh, successfully conveyed both the emotional resonance and mythological integrity of the original Mandarin version. The film's ability to maintain narrative and thematic fidelity across linguistic and cultural boundaries underscores the universality of its story and the effectiveness of its cinematic execution. Marketing and promotional efforts reinforced the film's immersive storytelling. Interactive experiences, augmented reality apps, digital comics, and collectible merchandise extended the narrative universe, allowing audiences to engage actively with characters, lore, and environments. These strategies fostered a sense of community, deepening emotional investment and reinforcing the mythological and philosophical stakes of the narrative. Unlike traditional marketing, these campaigns functioned as extensions of the story, inviting viewers to explore and reflect upon the universe of Ne Zha 2 in multiple modalities. The film's legacy is profound. Artistically, it demonstrates the heights that animation can achieve when grounded in meticulous research, cultural authenticity, and narrative ambition. Commercially, it proves that non-Western, non-English language animation can dominate the global market, rivaling Hollywood productions in both box office revenue and critical recognition. Philosophically, it invites audiences to consider complex questions of morality, identity, and destiny, positioning animated cinema as a medium capable of profound intellectual and emotional engagement. Culturally, it revitalizes Chinese mythology for contemporary audiences and inspires new generations of storytellers to explore their heritage in ways that resonate globally. Ultimately, Ne Zha 2 is not just a sequel or an animated spectacle, it is a testament to the transformative power of storytelling. Through trials, friendship, moral dilemmas, and breathtaking artistry, it conveys a narrative that is both timeless and timely. Ne Zha and Ao Bing's journeys are emblematic of universal truths. Courage is measured not only by physical deeds but by moral choice, identity is forged through both struggle and reflection, and true heroism requires harmony between the self, others, and the larger world. The film's meticulous attention to character, mythology, technical mastery, music, symbolism, and philosophy ensures that it resonates deeply with audiences of all ages and cultures, leaving a legacy that will influence animation, storytelling, and cultural dialogue for years to come. Ne Zha 2 is, in essence, a cinematic odyssey, a symphony of mythology, emotion, and visual artistry that transcends cultural boundaries. It celebrates the universal human journey while honoring its distinctly Chinese roots, achieving a synthesis of spectacle, narrative, and philosophical inquiry that few animated films have ever reached. It is a landmark achievement, a cultural milestone, and a work of art whose impact will continue to ripple across audiences, creators, and scholars around the world. As the story progresses, Ne Zha 2 unfolds with meticulous attention to both plot and emotional resonance. One of the most striking elements is the way the film handles its epic battle sequences while maintaining the internal logic of the mythological world. The confrontations are not merely physical challenges, they are deeply intertwined with the characters' personal growth and moral journeys. For example, a pivotal scene sees Ne Zha confronting the forces of the Dragon Kings. The choreography of the battle is staggering, water surges, lightning arcs across the sky, and magical energies collide in spectacular bursts of color. Yet, beyond the visual spectacle, this confrontation represents Ne Zha's internal struggle to master his powers without succumbing to anger or vengeance. It is in these moments that the film's philosophical undercurrents become most apparent. True heroism is measured not by strength alone but by self-control, empathy, and the ability to make just decisions under pressure. Ao Bing's role in these sequences is equally complex. As the Dragon Prince, he possesses immense strength and authority, yet he is constantly confronted with the tension between duty to his lineage and his desire for autonomy. One particularly memorable sequence involves Ao Bing defending a mystical artifact critical to the balance of the celestial realm. The choreography is precise, his movements convey both elegance and raw power, while the animation emphasizes fluidity, making each strike feel consequential. Simultaneously, the narrative explores Ao Bing's growing understanding of morality, how his actions affect not only his own fate but also the lives of those around him. The filmmakers excel in combining visual grandeur with deep psychological insight, creating a multidimensional experience for the audience. Interpersonal relationships in the film are portrayed with similar depth. Ne Zha's bond with his mother, Lady Yin, is central to the story's emotional core. Her unwavering belief in Ne Zha's goodness provides a moral anchor, reminding him, and the audience, that compassion and understanding are as vital as courage and skill. In quieter, reflective scenes, the camera lingers on Lady Yin's expressions, her voice soft but resolute, providing a counterbalance to the intensity of the action sequences. Tai Zhenren, the mentor, functions as a guiding figure, but his lessons often take the form of difficult challenges rather than direct instruction. This approach emphasizes the theme that growth comes through experience, struggle, and self-reflection rather than easy answers. Shen Gongbao's presence adds narrative tension. As a morally ambiguous character, he introduces complexity, forcing Ne Zha and Ao Bing to question assumptions about loyalty, trust, and the consequences of one's choices. These nuanced relationships elevate the story, ensuring that audiences remain emotionally invested throughout the film's nearly 2.5-hour runtime. The animation techniques employed in Ne Zha 2 are groundbreaking. The film blends traditional 2D elements with high-definition CGI to produce environments that feel both magical and tangible. Water, wind, and fire are rendered with remarkable realism, yet they retain a stylized aesthetic that aligns with the mythological setting. Lighting is used strategically to enhance mood, with softer tones highlighting intimate character moments and vibrant, saturated colors emphasizing magical confrontations. The attention to detail extends to subtle textures, the glint of armor, the flow of hair in the wind, the shimmer of mystical auras, each contributing to a visually immersive experience. The action sequences are choreographed with cinematic precision, ensuring clarity amidst the complexity, allowing viewers to follow the unfolding events while appreciating the artistry of each frame. Music and sound design further amplify the film's impact. The soundtrack integrates traditional Chinese instruments such as the guzheng and dizi with modern orchestral arrangements, creating a rich, multi-layered auditory experience. During battle sequences, percussion and rhythmic strings heighten tension, while quieter moments employ minimalistic melodies that accentuate emotional subtleties. Sound effects are intricately crafted, from the roar of dragons to the crackle of magical energy, ensuring that the auditory landscape complements the visual spectacle. This fusion of music and sound enhances immersion, allowing audiences to feel the stakes on both a narrative and visceral level. Thematically, Ne Zha 2 explores destiny, choice, and the consequences of power in ways that resonate beyond the fantastical setting. Ne Zha's journey is emblematic of the tension between inherited power and personal agency. Though he is prophesied to wield tremendous strength, he must navigate the moral complexities of using it responsibly. Ao Bing mirrors this journey, contending with the expectations of his dragon heritage while seeking a path aligned with his values. Their combined journeys underscore the film's central thesis, that true strength lies not in domination or fear but in courage tempered by empathy, wisdom, and ethical integrity. This thematic layering distinguishes Ne Zha 2 from conventional animated action films, granting it both emotional depth and intellectual resonance. The release strategy contributed significantly to the film's record-breaking success. Its premiere on January 29, 2025, during the Lunar New Year, maximized audience turnout in China, a time traditionally associated with family gatherings and cultural celebration. International releases followed, with Australia, New Zealand, and parts of North America hosting theatrical runs in February 2025. The English-dubbed version, featuring notable actors such as Michelle Yeoh, expanded the film's reach to global audiences by August 2025. Extensive promotional efforts included trailers, social media campaigns, behind-the-scenes features, and interviews with cast and crew. The marketing emphasized both the visual spectacle and the rich narrative rooted in Chinese mythology, appealing to audiences seeking both entertainment and cultural authenticity. The film's critical reception underscores its achievement. Reviewers universally praised the technical sophistication of the animation, the emotional resonance of the story, and the cultural authenticity of the mythological elements. Audiences responded enthusiastically, particularly highlighting the dynamic between Ne Zha and Ao Bing, the thoughtful exploration of morality, and the meticulous attention to visual and auditory detail. Social media campaigns and fan communities proliferated, reflecting the global interest generated by the film's release. Merchandise, fan art, and cultural discussions further reinforced the film's status as a cultural phenomenon. Box office performance was historic. Grossing over $2.2 billion worldwide, Ne Zha 2 became the highest-grossing animated film ever, surpassing major Hollywood productions. It was also the first non-English language film to exceed the $2 billion mark, a milestone that reflects both the film's quality and the increasing globalization of cinematic consumption. Its success has inspired other studios in China and abroad to invest in high-quality animated features grounded in cultural storytelling, signaling a shift in the global animation landscape. The film's cultural and academic impact extends beyond the box office. Ne Zha 2 has become a case study in modern animation, demonstrating the potential for non-Western studios to create globally competitive, visually stunning, and narratively complex films. Its characters, particularly Ne Zha and Ao Bing, have been widely analyzed for their archetypal significance and narrative complexity. Discussions in academic and fan circles often focus on the film's balance of mythological fidelity and creative innovation, exploring how traditional stories can be reimagined for contemporary audiences. This engagement has elevated Ne Zha 2 from a commercial blockbuster to a touchstone for cultural discourse, particularly regarding the interplay of heritage, identity, and modern storytelling techniques. As Ne Zha 2 progresses, the pacing of the film is meticulously structured to balance intense action with emotional introspection. Early sequences establish character motivations and interpersonal dynamics, while mid-film arcs escalate tension through conflict with antagonistic forces and internal struggles. The climactic sequences combine multiple threads of narrative and thematic significance, integrating high-stakes combat with ethical dilemmas and emotional resolution. Each battle sequence is choreographed to serve multiple purposes, showcasing animation mastery, advancing the plot, and symbolizing internal and relational conflicts. For instance, confrontations with the Dragon King of the East Sea are not merely physical contests but visual metaphors for generational tension, the weight of expectation, and the consequences of moral choices. The choreography of these scenes reflects careful planning, with dynamic camera angles, rapid editing, and fluid motion emphasizing both spectacle and narrative clarity. Character psychology is central to the narrative's depth. Ne Zha is portrayed as an individual constantly negotiating the tension between personal desire, moral responsibility, and societal expectation. His interactions with Ao Bing reveal vulnerabilities, doubts, and moments of introspection, creating a fully realized protagonist whose actions are both heroic and emotionally authentic. Ao Bing's psychology is equally nuanced, as he navigates loyalty to family, a desire for autonomy, and the moral implications of power. Secondary characters, such as Lady Yin, Tai Zhenren, and Shengong Bao, each display distinct psychological traits that inform their decisions and influence the protagonist's development. Dialogues, facial expressions, and subtle gestures are meticulously animated to convey these psychological dimensions, allowing viewers to experience the narrative on multiple levels, intellectually, emotionally, and viscerally. Visual motifs are consistently employed to reinforce themes and emotional beats. The lotus, elemental effects, and celestial phenomena recur throughout the narrative, symbolizing transformation, moral challenge, and spiritual growth. Color theory is strategically applied. Warm tones highlight passion, courage, and action, while cool tones underscore introspection, emotional conflict, or uncertainty. Lighting variations are used to accentuate mood shifts, foreshadow events, or emphasize character focus, demonstrating the filmmaker's mastery of cinematic visual storytelling. Environmental design, ranging from lush natural landscapes to intricately rendered mythological palaces, serves both as a narrative backdrop and as a symbolic extension of the story's emotional and ethical landscapes. The narrative's pacing is deliberate, balancing periods of tension with reflection. Quiet scenes allow viewers to absorb character motivations, relationships, and philosophical inquiries, while high-intensity action sequences provide spectacle and reinforce the stakes of the narrative. This rhythm ensures audience engagement, preventing fatigue while emphasizing critical story developments. The interplay of pacing, visual storytelling, and musical scoring creates a holistic cinematic experience, where every beat contributes to emotional, intellectual, and aesthetic impact. Cross-cultural comparisons highlight Ne Zha 2's unique contributions to global animation. Unlike many Western animated features, which often prioritize humor or light-hearted adventure, Ne Zha 2 integrates profound philosophical inquiry and complex moral dilemmas within its narrative. Its use of mythology and cultural specificity distinguishes it from generic fantasy narratives, offering viewers both entertainment and insight into Chinese philosophical and artistic traditions. Nevertheless, the film's universal themes, friendship, courage, self-discovery, and moral choice, ensure accessibility and resonance with audiences worldwide, demonstrating the potential for culturally rooted narratives to achieve global appeal. Critics have compared the film favorably to Western epics in terms of visual quality and narrative sophistication, noting that its approach to character depth and ethical complexity sets a new standard for animated storytelling. Ne Zha 2's influence on global animation trends is already evident. Studios and filmmakers have studied its integration of traditional artistic motifs with cutting-edge digital technology, its sophisticated narrative structure, and its thematic depth. The film has inspired discussions on how mythology can be adapted for contemporary audiences, how animated narratives can address philosophical and ethical questions, and how high-budget animation can achieve both commercial success and critical acclaim. Its success has encouraged greater investment in international distribution of culturally specific animated films, highlighting the potential for narratives rooted in local traditions to resonate with global audiences when executed with technical mastery and narrative intelligence. Awards recognition reflects both the film's technical and artistic achievements. Domestically, Ne Zha 2 received accolades for animation excellence, sound design, visual effects, storytelling, and audience engagement. Internationally, it was recognized at animation festivals and film awards for its innovation in visual storytelling, cultural representation, and narrative depth. These awards not only honor the filmmaker's creative vision but also validate Chinese animation as a globally competitive art form, fostering confidence in domestic studios and inspiring emerging animators and storytellers worldwide. In conclusion, Ne Zha 2 stands as a monumental achievement in contemporary animation, blending mythological narrative, psychological depth, philosophical inquiry, and technical mastery into a cohesive, immersive cinematic experience. Its intricate plotting, rich character development, and sophisticated use of visual and auditory elements demonstrate the capacity of animated films to convey profound narrative and ethical complexity. The film's global success, cultural impact, and enduring popularity attest to its ability to transcend linguistic, cultural, and geographic boundaries, making it both a national treasure and a global cinematic milestone. Through its innovative storytelling, technical brilliance, and cultural resonance, Ne Zha 2 has not only entertained millions but also reshaped expectations for what animated cinema can achieve, establishing a new benchmark for creativity, artistry, and narrative ambition in the 21st century. Throughout the remainder of Ne Zha 2, the film interweaves numerous minor subplots that enrich the central narrative and provide additional layers of emotional and thematic resonance. One such subplot involves a group of village children who, though initially fearful of Ne Zha's powers, gradually come to admire and trust him. These sequences are handled with subtlety, showing both the difficulty of overcoming prejudice and the transformative effect of courage and integrity. Through their interactions, the film emphasizes that heroism is not solely about grand gestures or supernatural abilities but also about small acts of empathy, mentorship, and leadership. These moments are visually grounded, often framed in idyllic landscapes with warm color palettes that evoke comfort, familiarity, and hope, contrasting the more intense sequences of battle and mystical conflict. Another minor subplot centers on the mystical creatures and spirits inhabiting the world. Their interactions with Ne Zha and Ao Bing reveal the interconnectedness of the universe, highlighting the consequences of imbalance and the need for harmony. Each creature is animated with distinct personality traits and cultural symbolism, from mischievous forest spirits to noble elemental guardians, creating a vibrant, living ecosystem within the narrative. Their role in guiding, challenging, or assisting the protagonists reinforces the film's recurring message that cooperation, respect, and understanding extend beyond human relationships to encompass all elements of existence. The integration of musical motifs throughout these sequences enhances their emotional impact. Subtle variations on the main themes appear in scenes of reflection, tension, or triumph, creating continuity and cohesion across the narrative. Instruments such as the guzheng, sheng, and dizi are employed in delicate passages to evoke cultural resonance, while dynamic orchestral swells accompany action sequences and emotional crescendos. The score adapts fluidly to narrative pacing, emphasizing character emotion, environmental atmosphere, and symbolic undertones. For example, during sequences in which Ne Zha and Ao Bing confront inner fears, the music employs minor tonalities and dissonance, reinforcing the tension and psychological complexity of these moments. Conversely, the triumphant resolution and reconciliation sequences are accompanied by ascending motifs, harmonious chords, and rich orchestration, reinforcing the narrative's sense of closure, growth, and balance. Scene-level animation details continue to be a hallmark of the film. Battle sequences are meticulously choreographed, with layered perspectives, complex camera movements, and interaction between characters and environment. Explosions of elemental energy, cascading waterfalls, and dynamic skies are not only visually spectacular but narratively functional, reflecting character growth, strategic thinking, and emotional stakes. Intimate character moments, in contrast, are animated with precision in subtle facial expressions, body language, and gestures, conveying vulnerability, hesitation, or determination without relying solely on dialogue. These careful visual cues allow the audience to engage with character psychology and narrative nuance, deepening immersion and emotional resonance. Symbolic motifs recur throughout the final sequences, reinforcing the overarching themes of transformation, balance, and reconciliation. The lotus, repeatedly appearing in various stages of bloom, represents personal and spiritual growth, the realization of potential, and the harmonization of disparate forces. Celestial alignments and recurring patterns of light and shadow visually emphasize cycles of challenge, reflection, and resolution. Water and fire elements, central to the abilities and personalities of Ao Bing and Ne Zha respectively, are used metaphorically to represent the duality of temperament, strength, and the need for cooperation. The culmination of these motifs in the climax and denouement signals the narrative's successful integration of character arcs, thematic exploration, and mythological symbolism. Minor characters receive meaningful closure in the final sequences, illustrating the film's commitment to a holistic narrative experience. Mentors, allies, and community figures participate in celebrations of restored harmony, reflecting the protagonist's impact on both personal and societal levels. Environmental transformations mirror this resolution, with previously chaotic or ominous landscapes returning to equilibrium, visually representing the restoration of balance across physical, emotional, and spiritual realms. These scenes are rendered with attention to both grandeur and subtlety, balancing sweeping vistas with intimate gestures, ensuring that the audience experiences a sense of completeness and satisfaction. The film concludes with an extended epilogue that reinforces both narrative and thematic closure. Ne Zha and Ao Bing, now fully independent and reconciled with their experiences, navigate their respective roles in the world with confidence, empathy, and wisdom. Their journey illustrates the maturation of character, the resolution of moral dilemmas, and the integration of dual perspectives into a unified understanding of self and others. The final sequences emphasize communal harmony, personal growth, and the enduring relevance of ethical reflection, leaving audiences with a sense of both resolution and continued possibility. Visually, the epilogue employs serene landscapes, balanced compositions, and recurring symbolic imagery such as the lotus, flowing water, and celestial patterns to reinforce these conclusions. Throughout the film, the seamless blending of action, philosophy, cultural resonance, and character development ensures that Ne Zha 2 operates on multiple levels of engagement. For children and general audiences, the spectacular animation, thrilling battles, and accessible narrative provide entertainment and excitement. For more sophisticated viewers, the layered symbolism, moral complexity, and cultural references offer depth and reflection. By integrating these levels without compromising either, the film demonstrates the capacity of animation to serve as both art and storytelling, appealing to a broad spectrum of viewers while maintaining narrative integrity. Internationally, Ne Zha 2's reception underscores its capacity to bridge cultural and linguistic divides. Audiences unfamiliar with Chinese mythology can still engage with the universal themes of friendship, courage, growth, and moral responsibility, while those with familiarity appreciate the depth of cultural reference, historical context, and mythological integration. The English-dubbed version, along with subtitled releases, allows the story to maintain its authenticity while maximizing accessibility, exemplifying a successful model for global distribution of culturally specific narratives. The film's legacy is reinforced by its commercial success, critical acclaim, and influence on global animation standards. It establishes a precedent for high-budget, culturally rich animation capable of competing with traditional Hollywood blockbusters. Its achievements in character design, environmental modeling, animation choreography, music integration, and thematic complexity set benchmarks for future projects. Beyond financial metrics, the film's impact lies in demonstrating the value of narrative authenticity, cultural specificity, and the potential for universal resonance within localized storytelling. By showing that mythology, philosophy, and visually stunning animation can coexist within a commercially successful framework, Ne Zha 2 expands the possibilities of contemporary cinema. In conclusion, Ne Zha 2 represents a culmination of artistic vision, technological achievement, and narrative ambition. It integrates mythological heritage, philosophical reflection, character development, musical sophistication, and visual storytelling into a unified cinematic experience. From the intimate struggles of shared consciousness to the grandiose battles with cosmic stakes, the film navigates multiple layers of meaning, offering audiences entertainment, emotional resonance, and intellectual engagement. Its exploration of identity, cooperation, morality, and balance resonates across cultures and generations, positioning it as a landmark in animation and global cinema. By harmonizing spectacle with substance, tradition with innovation, and personal growth with universal themes, Ne Zha 2 leaves a lasting legacy that will influence storytelling, animation, and cultural cinema for years to come. As Ne Zha 2 advances into its central narrative arc, the film delves deeper into the mythological framework that underpins its story, presenting both the external conflicts and the internal struggles of its protagonists in increasingly intricate ways. A significant portion of the movie focuses on a series of trials that Ne Zha and Ao Bing must face to fully regain their mortal forms after the partial destruction of their bodies in previous battles. Each trial is uniquely designed to test not only their physical prowess but also their moral fiber, intellect, and emotional resilience. For instance, one trial involves navigating an ethereal labyrinth filled with illusions that challenge the characters' perception of reality and force them to confront their deepest fears and regrets. The labyrinth is a visually stunning sequence, rendered in shifting hues of violet and gold, with fluid animation that conveys both the beauty and disorientation of the space. Here, Ne Zha is forced to reflect on the consequences of his impulsive actions in the past, while Ao Bing contemplates his responsibility to his dragon lineage. These introspective challenges are interspersed with sequences of breathtaking action, creating a rhythm that maintains both narrative tension and character development. A particularly memorable plot point involves the re-emergence of the Dragon Kings, who, despite being antagonists, are portrayed with complexity rather than as one-dimensional villains. Ao Guang and Ao Run's motivations are tied to the preservation of their realm and the maintenance of cosmic balance, which often places them in direct opposition to the protagonists. However, the film emphasizes that these conflicts are not merely about good versus evil but rather about different perspectives on duty, morality, and the interpretation of power. Ao Bing's interactions with his father, Ao Guang, highlight the generational tension between inherited responsibility and personal ethics. This dynamic adds an additional layer of sophistication to the story, showing that conflict in Ne Zha 2 is both physical and philosophical. The film's character arcs are developed with remarkable subtlety. Ne Zha evolves from a figure defined by his impulsive and rebellious tendencies into a hero who understands the importance of patience, empathy, and strategic thinking. His journey is punctuated by moments of failure and self-doubt, which serve to humanize him despite his mythological abilities. Ao Bing, in contrast, begins as a disciplined and somewhat rigid character but gradually learns to balance duty with compassion and autonomy. Their relationship is central to the narrative, as it illustrates the interplay of friendship, loyalty, and shared destiny. The film skillfully navigates the tension between these two characters, allowing their differences to create dramatic conflict while ultimately reinforcing the themes of cooperation and mutual growth. From a production standpoint, Ne Zha 2 represents a significant technical achievement. The animation was produced using a combination of proprietary software and industry-standard tools such as Autodesk Maya and Houdini for 3D effects. Motion capture technology was employed for complex battle sequences to ensure fluid and realistic movement, particularly in scenes featuring dragons, mystical creatures, and elaborate martial arts choreography. Each environment in the film, ranging from tranquil celestial gardens to storm-tossed seas and mystical palaces, is crafted with painstaking detail, including hand-painted textures, dynamic lighting, and particle effects that simulate natural phenomena such as water, fire, and wind. The production team, composed of hundreds of artists, animators, and technical directors, collaborated over several years to ensure both visual fidelity and narrative cohesion, making Ne Zha 2 a landmark achievement in Chinese animation. Music composition also plays a central role in reinforcing the film's emotional and narrative beats. The score, composed by a team blending traditional Chinese and contemporary orchestral influences, is closely synchronized with the film's pacing. During action sequences, rapid percussion and sweeping string arrangements heighten the tension, while delicate guzheng and bamboo flute motifs underscore moments of introspection or emotional vulnerability. The integration of music with sound design creates a holistic auditory experience, allowing viewers to feel the stakes of every encounter, from small interpersonal exchanges to large-scale mythological battles. The soundtrack has been praised as one of the most sophisticated in contemporary animated cinema, further enhancing the film's international appeal. In terms of international reception, Ne Zha too performed exceptionally well across multiple regions. In China, it dominated the Lunar New Year box office, breaking several records for opening day and opening week revenue. Australia and New Zealand reported strong attendance figures, particularly in urban centers with large Chinese-speaking populations. The North American limited release in February 2025 received critical acclaim, with reviewers highlighting the film's universal themes and accessible storytelling despite its deep roots in Chinese mythology. The English-dubbed version released later in August allowed a broader international audience to engage with the film, featuring voice talent that preserved the characters' emotional authenticity while making the dialogue comprehensible for non-Mandarin-speaking viewers. Critical reviews often emphasize the film's ability to bridge cultural gaps, presenting a narrative that was both uniquely Chinese and universally resonant. Box office analytics further demonstrate the film's remarkable performance. Its global gross exceeded $2.2 billion, with China accounting for the majority of revenue, followed by North America, Southeast Asia, and Europe. The film's success is particularly notable given that it was competing with established Hollywood franchises, demonstrating the growing power of Chinese cinema on the global stage. Analysts attribute this success to a combination of high production values, culturally grounded storytelling, and effective international marketing campaigns. The film's merchandising, including action figures, clothing, and collectibles, further contributed to its cultural and economic impact. The marketing and promotional campaigns were carefully designed to highlight both the film's spectacular visuals and its narrative depth. Teaser trailers were released several months in advance, emphasizing the return of beloved characters and the introduction of new challenges.